Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another Saints podcast here on the campus of Seward County Community College. Thanks for joining us today. I have a very special group, the rock stars on campus with us today. I might put some clapping sound effects here. It's financial aid. I got the financial aid department in the studio. All right. So, ladies, if you could just kind of introduce yourselves, who you are, what you do here on the campus.
Okay, I'm Alma Avalos. I'm the student service specialist. I'm housed in financial aid, but sometimes you might catch me in the registrar's office, so I do handle calls for registrar and financial aid offices.
Cool.
And I'm Sherelle Lee, and I'm the loan specialist in our Office of Financial Aid. And I help with students. That's our day-to-day job, of course. But then I also specialize in loans, and I'm in charge of the Federal Work Study Program.
Okay. See, I was going to ask for a little clarification because you said loan specialist, and I was like, is anything like the Lone Ranger?
Well,
Different.
not exactly. We both
Different.
might have a horse, but different things.
You actually do have horses.
I do have a
don't you?
horse.
Yes, I know. Okay. So, not too far off. The
Yeah,
loan specialist.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, ladies, of course, financial aid, one of the most important departments on any college campus, right? How are you going to pay for school? Well, you ladies have some answers for us today. So what types of financial aid are available for students here at Seward County?
Okay. So there's two main ways to receive financial aid. The first one is through our federal government, and that is how you need to go out and fill out your FAFSA whenever it becomes available, which is October 1st. So with the federal aid, we offer Pell Grant through that, and then there is also the Federal Work Study Program, as well as student direct loans. And then you could also get an institutional scholarship. That's usually the aid that we are offering through the school itself. And that's an application that you'll do online as well.
Yeah, and anytime we talk about financial aid applications like FAFSA application and our Seward County, our institutional financial aid, those links will be in the description of this video. So anybody watching the video, head down to the description, check out those links. There we go. So types of Pell, and so some people don't know what the FAFSA is, what federal Pell Grants are. So can you guys kind of explain those a little bit to us?
Sure. You want to go for it, Alma?
Yeah. So FAFSA, it stands for the free, the free application for student federal aid. And that is like the money we get from the federal Department of Education. Grants are usually money that you don't have to pay back. It's money that you don't get paid back. You don't pay back. It's money that you get for you to use for your education. Loans, that is money that you're going to be paying back. And there is two different types of loans usually offered. There's an unsubsidized loan and a subsidized loan. The subsidized loan is usually the loan that you don't have to worry about interest until you drop below halftime or you graduate. Unsubsidized loan, that interest starts accruing once you get that loan out. Mm-hmm. So out of the two loans, the best loan to get is the subsidized loan, just because it's going to be waiting. That interest, you won't have to worry about it till then.
Yeah, so you're saying that there's like essentially, 3 or 4 different types of financial aid you can get with your FAFSA application.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right, so we're looking at subsidized loans, unsubsidized loans, the Pell Grant, and your federal work study.
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So most time, I know we keep costs down here pretty low at Seward County. How many students you say will actually have to take out loans here?
Oh, gosh. I mean, with this being my first semester in this position, I can only go off of what I saw during training and everything, but it's under 100.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a necessarily popular option for students, but if that's their only option, then of course we're going to work to help them out.
Yeah. So in your experience, Sherelle, about 1%, maybe less than 1%.
Probably.
Okay. Yeah, and most of our students, I think, they get by with grants and scholarships and a little bit out of pocket, but cost here at Seward County, we keep costs very low.
Yes.
So that's definitely to our advantage. All right. So we kind of got into this a little bit, but what is the difference between like scholarships and grants? I mean, what kind of we talked about the different types of loans, but what about the difference between scholarships and grants? What makes those different?
Okay, so the grant obviously is money you don't pay back. Scholarships, you don't pay that back either. But the grant is going to be a federal government amount paid by the government. Whenever you go out and do scholarships, you could either get them through our institution, and that's a simple process, but it is first come, first serve, so you got to be quick to get in there and get your name on the board. But then your outside scholarships, you can bring in as much money as you want if you get scholarships from private businesses or anything like that. We have a lot of students that bring that money in, and that can go towards anything on their bill. Whereas our institutional scholarships, they can be limited to either your tuition or to your books.
And to add to that, scholarships, sometimes it becomes really competitive when you're working with external scholarships, because you have like the small nonprofit community scholarships, which you're competing with those within the community, but then you have like the national scholarships that you're competing with nationwide students, and there's more applicants compared to if you're applying to those that are internally through the college or just within the community.
Yeah. So there are different scholarships and different groups here in our area that give away that you can apply for scholarships, like, at Tri-County and Seaboard and some of those. Can you just kind of name a few of those institutions that you guys know of that are, our local businesses, I should say, that kind of help provide some of those scholarships?
Yeah, so I know I've seen checks come in from Kiwanis, whether it be here in Liberal or over in Hugoton, wherever the student's coming from. And like you said, National Beef is one.
Seaboard,
Yeah,
I know,
Seaboard
has scholarship. Sometimes various Lions clubs, they also have sometimes scholarships.
It seems like electric and utility companies will
Yeah.
give out some scholarships
Southern,
sometimes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, scholarships are out there. It's just a matter of you actually going out and looking for them.
Yeah.
Because if you really want to look for those scholarships and find that money, there's scholarships for anything and everything. Like, what is it? Duct tape. They do a scholarship where they have to create like a prom dress or prom attire out of just the duct tape. And that's a
cool.
scholarship right there. And also there's scholarships where they have to maybe just turn in a video and not so much write an essay, because a lot of students don't want to write the essay sometimes.
Right.
So they steer away from those. But if you really look out there, you can find all sorts of scholarships for any type, any kinds.
Yeah, and I've heard about scholarships like specifically for redheaded people, or it's just weird, just like weird little stipulation scholarships. So those are kind of some of the external stuff that we offer. What about some of the more specific internal scholarships that we offer? I know we do like book scholarships and stuff like that. Can you elaborate a little bit more on those?
Sure. So with the scholarships, some of them can be based on your degree that you're seeking through the college. Like the nursing program, they offer scholarships like that. I'm sorry, I just
Oh, you're fine. It happens.
The thing with our different departments offering scholarships is once you, if the nursing scholarship applies towards your tuition, then you can't get another tuition grant. So you live in Liberal, you can't get another, it's already getting your tuition paid for, so you can't go get another tuition grant. And the same thing with books. If you're going to be part of a club or organization that gives you a book scholarship, you get that sponsor recommendation. You can only get it the one time.
Yeah. So they're like basically kind of two different types of scholarships, like tuition scholarship and a book scholarship here. So if you're getting, you can't get multiple tuition scholarships or multiple book scholarships.
Right.
So how does that kind of stack? We're talking about scholarship stacking, something we talk about.
Right.
So how does it stack with the external stuff? So if I get the Seward County tuition grant and bring in, Southern Pioneer thing, how does that work?
That doesn't have, so your external scholarships, they're different in the sense of there's no restrictions to what you're bringing from the outside world, basically. So whatever you're bringing in can apply to anything on your bill, versus your tuition grant scholarship is only going to cover your tuition.
Yeah.
Same with the books. So your externals pretty much cover whatever else doesn't get covered.
Cool. Yeah, so we're basically just talking about specifically earmarked funds, for tuition or books.
Yeah.
Right. And we have a lot of available book scholarships on campus. I know that. Do people utilize those as often as they need to?
Oh yeah, they don't have to pay for their books. I wouldn't want to
Something else
either.
they have to worry about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do want to touch on another. We have those two scholarship options, but also you can have specific programs that have specific scholarships. So you might have a tuition scholarship and a book scholarship, but maybe you're in ag and they've got $1,000 scholarship for one of their students, and they'll go ahead and do a recommendation for that student. So there's possibilities within departments. All you have to do is ask and find out.
Yeah, so different departments have different funding for different stuff. So yeah, I mean, ag is a good one. I think industrial tech over here, these guys have some like extra kind of funds that they can pass around a little bit like that too. So and that's another thing that. I get asked this question every once in a while. It's like, will my financial aid, I'm wanting to come in and do welding, or I'm wanting to come in and do diesel, will my financial aid work for those programs?
So the short-term programs, no.
Yeah. How
But
short? How short are we talking?
that would be like a certificate program. Your CDL program is too short
Yeah.
of a program. Phlebotomy, I know, is the other one. We got like the CNA, CMA
Yeah.
program.
Yeah.
Yeah, those shorter programs like that will not be covered by financial aid.
Yeah. So we've talked about some of the scholarships and some of the things that'll cover some of this, that the scholarships will cover, and some of the stuff that they won't, which is very little, very little that it won't cover. So one of the things I do have to ask about is like, what are the requirements to keep the scholarships? Because I know we have certain stipulations, and different scholarships have different stipulations to keep those as well.
Exactly. Do you want to take this?
She's very enthused.
So yeah, depending on the scholarship, some of them, for internal scholarships, they have to keep a 2.5 GPA, I believe, and what was the other thing? And
So-
they must remain in
Yeah.
Yeah.
satisfactory academic progress.
Satisfactory academic progress.
Yes.
So what is that? So how do I maintain satisfactory
So
academic progress?
to be in good standing in SAP, remaining in SAP, I know it's a weird acronym, but financial aid is all about their acronyms. That's something I learned before I was even part of the department.
Yeah.
So to remain in satisfactory academic progress, you need to maintain a 67% passing rate and a minimal of 2.0 GPA cumulative. So not, I did good this semester and then not so great and then I did good again and then I should get my financial aid back. No, it all comes back to bite you. So you need to make sure you're taking your schooling seriously. And the passing rate, we figure that by the number of hours that you complete divided by the number of hours you've attempted. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you can struggle pretty quickly if you don't take it seriously.
And
off
with that
bat.
passing rate, it does include like classes that you drop after, what is it?
Like certification date or the
Yeah,
drop date?
because you attempted those hours, but however, even though you dropped and you got a W with it, that is going to affect your passing rate because you did try to take those classes and you just had to drop them for whatever reason. So that does affect your passing rate as well.
Yeah, and one of the things that you guys aren't wrong, that financial aid, they have one thing that we love in higher education is our acronyms. We love our acronyms. So I know that can be kind of a source of confusion, and I will shout out Dr. Campbell here just for a couple of seconds, and then she's really kind of drilled it into our heads this year. It's like, hey guys, we need to start explaining our acronyms better, because people don't understand what the heck we're talking about.
Right.
So, yeah, that's definitely cool. So if anybody has any questions on acronyms, especially as it pertains to financial aid, get all of these ladies over here.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right.
And I will touch another requirement with the tuition grant. If you're a full-time student, you have to be part of a club or organization. So we've tried to help out, especially our nursing students, the students that don't have a lot of time, by awarding them differently. They still get a tuition grant. It's just worded different in their awards.
Yeah.
So I know that's been kind of a source of confusion, but we're helping them out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just kind of a sort of a scholarship equity, because not all programs are created the same.
Right.
So that's awesome that you guys are doing that. So how we've talked about the scholarships and the tuition grant and the book scholarships and all that stuff. How do I get those?
apply.
What?
Right?
Yeah,
Who
I've
would
gotta
have
apply.
thought? Who would have thought? Okay, so, and applying is super easy. Like I said earlier, to apply for our scholarships and for the FAFSA, it's all online. It's opening October 1 for the next school year. So what you'll need to do for FAFSA, you'll need to go to studentaid.gov. And for the 22-23 school year that we're currently in, you'll need to use your parents' 2020 taxes. For next school year, 23-24, you'll need your 2021 taxes. To apply for our scholarships, you just go online to our website. It's under the Students tab, and then you'll go over to Financial Aid. And then there's a big green button that'll pop up, and you just click the big green button. If you don't see the big green button, you've taken the wrong turn. So, and once you fill that out, it's a one-stop shop, so all you have to do is apply and hope you get in quick enough and get some money.
Yeah, it's always first come, first serve around
Yes.
here. Yeah.
Yep.
Scholarship dollars run out.
Scholarships, yes.
So there we go.
Yes.
So that's how I apply it. Of course, once again, I'll definitely put that link here in the description of this video. So,
Beautiful.
head down there, click the link, apply for some scholarships. Okay. You also have to be, you have to have applied and been admitted into Seward County.
Yes.
Yes.
Before you can apply for those scholarships too. So keep that in mind. You'll have to go through me before you get to the lovely ladies here at the table. So once I do my scholarship application, and I've applied to the college first, right? And I've done my scholarship application. How do I check, how much I'm being awarded?
Okay, so you'll need to go and check out your student records. And there's a lovely video if you go to the financial aid part of our webpage. And there's a YouTube tutorial of how to check my aid and what awards I got. Same thing, you'll go to our SCCC.edu website. You'll go under Students and Financial Aid. And then on the left side, there's going to be a little menu, and underneath of it, it'll see how do I accept my awards. And there's a beautiful little video that comes up, and you can follow it.
Link in the description.
Yes.
And also, that's where you'll be able to see if we're still missing any documentation to get awarded. So,
True.
especially when it comes to FAFSA, sometimes we require extra information, and that will also be under there.
Yeah. Speaking of that, just real quick, we didn't touch on this back when we were talking more about the FAFSA and stuff. What if I am picked for verification? What? Exactly. Because that happened, and that happened to me like the last 2 years I was in school. Picked for verification both years.
Yeah.
So what is a student? Okay, first of all, don't freak out.
Right.
But what do I need to do for verification?
Yeah, so for verification, there's no science behind why you get paid for verification, honestly. But once we get like the report in with the FAFSA, we send out a letter requesting the information. So if you do get paid for verification, we will send out the form or whatever we might need regarding that verification. And they can be turned into the office or they can be mailed back. And we also have an online submission where they can actually submit the documentation online.
Okay. So if I'm picked, I can follow one of those methods and come in and you guys can help out.
Yes, definitely.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. So when is financial aid usually applied to your account?
So there's multiple steps that we're going to have to go through to get you to that point. And the first thing is we got to get your FAFSA on file. And if you haven't been picked for verification, then we're one step closer to getting you awarded. And that is the next step, actually. We'll go ahead and award you, see what age you're eligible for. And then after all that's said and done and you've gone out there and accepted your awards, bear in mind Pell Grant is usually automatically accepted because who wouldn't want to get that financial aid?
True story.
And so after that happens, you'll need to certify in your classes, which we just had certification on the 13th. And so what that is that you've been an active participant in your classes and your instructor has recorded that you have certified. And then that's when we'll do our disbursement dates and we'll get you your money.
Yeah. And by certification date, that means that you've enrolled in the class, you've been showing up for a few weeks, and the instructor says, yeah, they're probably going to stick in this class for the rest of the semester, so go ahead.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So there we go.
Yep.
And I have to reapply for financial aid every year, right?
Every year. Yes.
And the deadline or the opening for this year is coming up very soon.
Yes.
When is that?
October 1st.
October 1st. October 1st. I don't think it's ever going to change.
No. And that's for our next school year, so you
Yeah.
have plenty of time to get it in gear and get it
Yeah.
applied for and
Yeah.
get your name on that list. Why
So,
not?
Yeah, because again, it's federal money. It's first come, first serve. And October 1st for the 23-24 school year. Okay, and Amy always loses me when she talks about what tax returns I need. So if you have any questions, call financial aid. Again, I'll put that number up here in just a few here at the end of this video. So, ladies, that's getting close to time here. Is there anything else that we kind of need to touch on before we wrap up?
I don't know.
Take school seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your education's important, so.
Yeah.
The sooner you're able to get your financial aid done, the better. You don't have to worry about it once you start classes in August. You don't have to be trying to find that paperwork or that extra documentation we need. You'll be set. You don't have to worry about it other than getting to class on time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one thing I'm dealing with a couple of students that I know personally. They're like, "Oh, we're still working on our financial aid
Yeah.
for this year."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, come on, guys, you need to kind of get on that."
Well, and sometimes you can't anticipate getting picked for verification. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't
Yeah.
anticipate it. And so that's why it's really important to get in there early so you'll have plenty of time to gather whatever documentation you need.
Yeah, and even if you don't think you're going to qualify for a Pell Grant, fill out your FAFSA anyway.
Yes.
Yeah,
So there we
exactly.
go. All right, ladies, anything else? No.
Go
That's about it.
Saints.
There we go. All right, Alma, Sherelle, thank you so much for coming.
Thank
to
you
the
for
studio.
having us.
All right. So everything that we've talked about, the federal financial aid, the FAFSA links, the apply for financial aid to Seward County, checking your financial aid videos, all that stuff will be in the link in the description in this video. And I will put up the financial aid contact info here in just a sec. Okay. Other than that, hey, we'll catch you next time.